When you think of northern Italy, your mind probably conjures up images of rolling hills, quaint villages, and the towering Alps on the horizon. It's postcard perfect, exactly what you'd expect from a place steeped in history, culture, and exquisite cuisine. But there's a side to this region that doesn't quite make it to the Instagram photos. A side that's murkier, smoggier, and frankly, a little unsettling. The Po Valley isn't just known for its beauty. It's also home to some of the worst air pollution in all of Europe. This idyllic region, known for its picturesque landscapes and world-class wine, is dealing with a harsh reality: toxic air. And this pollution isn't just an inconvenience. It has very real, very human consequences. In 2020 alone, over 50,000 premature deaths in Italy were attributed to poor air quality, with the Po Valley region bearing the brunt of it. During the COVID-19 pandemic, this area became an epicenter for the virus, with some studies showing that the high pollution levels may have contributed to its severity. Long-term exposure to polluted air can damage respiratory systems, leaving people more susceptible to illness. It's a grim connection that underscores just how high the stakes are. So why is the Po Valley so polluted? The answer lies in a toxic combination of human activity and geography. Northern Italy is the agricultural and industrial hub of the country. Cities like Milan and Turin, known for their fashion, design, and manufacturing, generate massive emissions. Add to that the traffic from bustling highways and industrial farming that defines the region. And as if that wasn't enough, the geography of the Po Valley traps it all in. Surrounded by mountains on three sides, the valley acts like a giant bowl, holding in pollutants that would otherwise dissipate. It's a natural chokehold, and the air here simply has nowhere to go. So, what can be done? Back in the 1970s, a tram driver from Milan named Piero Diacono had a bold idea to solve this problem. His proposal? Flatten the Turchino Pass, a mountain ridge that separates the Po Valley from the Ligurian Sea. His thinking was pretty straightforward: open a so-called window in the mountains, let the air escape, and let the valley breathe again.
Il principio è semplice. È quello. È lo stesso che cambiare l'aria in una stanza. Che cosa facciamo noi? Apriamo o due finestre o una porta e una finestra.
E allora si crea una...
In questo caso si crea un movimento circolatorio di aria e si cambia l'aria in una stanza.
He called the Turchino Pass the perfect place to create this window, suggesting it could be flattened down to optimize air circulation.
Io propongo di aprire una finestra in Valpadana, in quanto la porta ce l'abbiamo già. C'è un solo punto dove aprire la finestra. Qui, sul passo del Turchino.
When asked what he meant by flattening the Turchino Pass, Diacono doubled down.
Che cosa intende per spianare il passo del Turchino?
Abbassarlo sino al livello del mare. Senza tutte quelle curve.
It seemed like something out of a science fiction film, blowing up a mountain to save an entire region, gasping for breath. But would such a plan work? Is something like this even remotely realistic?
Purtroppo, signore, Big Ben, ahimè, ha detto stop.
While Diacono's idea captured public attention, it didn't go far. Experts argued that while such a drastic move might improve air circulation marginally, blowing up a mountain would have huge environmental impacts. And crucially, it wouldn't address the root cause of the problem: emissions from vehicles, factories, and farms. Still, the audacity of the idea lingered. In 2015, the president of the Lombardy region referenced Diacono's interview during discussions about combating smog. It's one of those ideas that, while completely impractical, forces you to think bigger. Fast forward to today, and the solutions that are being implemented are far less dramatic, but far more practical. Regional initiatives like the Life Prepare program are focused on collecting comprehensive emissions data to better understand the problem. Public transportation is being expanded, renewable energy is gaining traction, and stricter emissions regulations are being enforced. It's not flashy, but it's effective, chipping away at the issue, one policy at a time. The Po Valley's pollution crisis isn't just a local issue, it's a global one. It's a cautionary tale about the unintended consequences of urbanization and industrialization. It's about how human activity and geography can collide to create problems that are difficult to untangle. But it's also the story of resilience and innovation. Whether it's Diacono's fantastical vision or the incremental policies being implemented today, the people of Po Valley are grappling with one of the most pressing issues of our time: how to coexist with our environment without destroying it. Big, bold ideas like Diacono's force us to think beyond the status quo, to question the inevitability of problems like pollution. But it's the slower, systematic approaches backed by data, policy, and public participation that create lasting solutions. The Po Valley might never look like the pristine photos you see of northern Italy, but with continued effort, it could become a place where the air is cleaner, the horizons are clearer, and the people who call it home can breathe easier. And maybe that's the lesson here. Progress doesn't always have to come in one grand gesture. Sometimes it's the small, steady steps forward that make all the difference.